Has finally given us universal control, a feature that they announced 6 months ago at WWDC. In order for you to be able to use this amazing feature, you need to make sure you have your iPad at iOS 15.4 and you have macOS 12.3, and you can actually use universal control right now, more than 6 months after Apple had originally announced it. So the hype is real and the feature is finally here. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this feature took a while to come out and we all expected it to come out in 2021, but even though it's taken this long, I'm really glad because I have tested it and it looks super amazing. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this today. Now, this is supported over a very wide range of devices. Today with me, I have the iPad mini generation 6, M1 MacBook Pro 13-inch from 2021, and I also have the 2021 iPad Pro 11-inch with the M1 chip on the inside. But if you're interested in knowing whether your older Apple device actually supports universal control, I'm going to break down all the models in the Apple ecosystem that actually support this, starting with the Macs. For MacBook owners, any MacBook Pro from 2016 and later and any MacBook Air from 2018 and later does work with universal control. Any iMac from 2017 and later, also the 5K 27-inch iMac from 2015 works. The Mac Pro from 2019 works. The Mac Mini from 2018 and onwards is supported, and the iMac Pro. All of these Macs that I've actually named right now are the ones that support universal control. When it comes down to the iPads, any iPad Pro on the market supports universal control. The iPad Air 3rd generation and later supports universal control. The regular iPad 6th generation and later, and the iPad mini 5th generation and later. If you have any of those iPads, they will all support universal control today. All you need to do is go and download the software, the latest operating system update for iPad OS as well as Mac OS, and you're going to get universal control ready to use. After you update your Mac, universal control should be ready to use and it should be activated automatically within your system. But if you do have a Mac and you want to check for sure, all you gotta do is go into your system preferences, go into displays, and under displays you can find a new toggle that says universal control. You can go in there and tick mark all the boxes and you should be good to go. And if you want to check on your iPad, you just go into your settings, go into general, go into AirPlay and handoff, under which you can basically go into cursor and keyboard and turn this toggle on, which basically means you'll be able to use any cursor and any keyboard to control your iPad, giving you universal control essentially. Also keep in mind, this will only work on Apple devices which have the exact same Apple ID, which basically means if you have an iMac and you have an iPad, provided they have the same Apple ID on and you've turned on the Wi-Fi as well as the Bluetooth services within your system preferences on both those devices, only then will this actually work. If you have two Apple devices at home but one belongs to your parent or to your partner and it has a different Apple ID on it, it's not going to work. You guys can see in the way it works is I'm basically using keyboard and the trackpad on my Mac to control my iPad Pro right now. I can open up anything in the browser, I can open up any application, play and pause videos. I can essentially use this keyboard and trackpad to control every function within the iPad, and I can also do the reverse. I can use the iPad Pro's keyboard and trackpad to control every function on the Mac. Now it's a little bit more buggy because it is in beta, so you have to keep that in mind, especially when you're using the iPad's Magic Keyboard and trackpad to control your Mac. It is a lot more buggier and macOS gestures don't work yet. Example, your 4-finger swipe and your 3-finger swipes, they're not exactly fluid yet, but keep in mind when you go into the universal control tab on your Mac, you're going to see that this is still in beta, which basically means right now there is going to be another software update that comes out in a couple of weeks that's going to give you the full-fledged version of universal control. Nonetheless, it's accessible to everybody and you can start testing this out and start figuring out how this is going to help you in your workflow. Similarly, if you have an external Bluetooth mouse or trackpad, a Magic Mouse, the Magic Keyboard or the Magic Trackpad, which Apple sells separately, you can use them and universal control still works, which basically means if I connect my Magic Mouse to my Mac right now, I can use it on both the iPads sitting on my desk and I can control whatever I want using the mouse. The thing you can do is drag and drop files between two devices, and this actually works really fast. Similar to basically plugging in a flash drive between two devices and transferring files, except you don't need to anymore. You can literally drag and drop from one device to the other like I have right now. You have to keep in mind when you're dragging and dropping from the iPad to the Mac, because the Mac is a desktop, it'll automatically copy the files to your desktop. When you're copying from the Mac to the iPad, you want to keep the Files app or the Notes app open because iPad OS is such that it doesn't have a desktop based layout, so it's not going to accept the files anywhere else other than the Files app or the Notes app. That's basically that. Universal control is literally that simple and that easy to use, and as you guys can see, it is in the beta version and Apple states it too. So in about a month or so, you will get a notification that this is a full-fledged version and the beta logo on your Mac and your system preferences will disappear. It is really cool. I can already think about 10 different ways that I can use universal control, especially when I'm video editing. If you're somebody who's going to make use of this feature, who actually cares about this feature, do let me know. Drop me a comment in the comments comment section and let me know how you plan to use universal control, and even if you actually tried it out or not. I hope this video was informative for you guys, because this is a groundbreaking feature for anyone who has multiple Apple devices right now, especially iPads and Macs. It's gonna help all of us build a tiny home studio with 2 Apple devices, giving you multiple screens to work off of at one time. So yeah, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Do give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe because it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching. This is Nitin Chawla. Peace.